The Eagles are going straight back to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in football. Saquon Barkley is the best running back in football. The Commanders are trash. The Cowboys are trash. And the Giants are stinky trash. I think we're going to run away with it. And the Lions are wounded. Find out now on the Fumble Forecast. Welcome back, everybody, to the Fumble Forecast. It is time for our Week 12 coverage of the NFL. What is it, 13? Is it Week 13? What? What'd I do?
It's Week 11, my guy.
Oh, yeah, we're going into Week 12. You know what I'm fucking saying. Whatever, fuck you.
Christ, well,
Week 11 coverage. Week 11 coverage.
Motherfucker doesn't remember which week he's hosting. Doesn't remember which week I host.
Too. What are you talking about? Hold on. Full stop. Mark is framing me here. I knew I was hosting.
Yeah, but you know that you host the odd-numbered weeks, and then you come in like, welcome to Week 12.
No, I actually don't remember it by odd and not odd. I remembered it because I didn't do it last week.
Oh my fucking god, this guy.
Anyway, into the gridiron here. First thing we're going to talk about is the first thing that I mentioned in the intro. The Eagles are a Super Bowl-bound team. Jalen Hurts has actually consistently, and you know what? I'm just going to come out and say it. This episode is going to be my defense of Jalen Hurts in a court of law.
Oh,
I once defended Bryce Young, and now I have taken the mantle, sword and shield, for Jalen Hurts. I just want to throw it out there that every single season that Jalen Hurts has been a quarterback in the NFL for the Philadelphia Eagles, his stats have gotten better and better and better and better and better. Every single season, including this one. A lot of people in Philadelphia have come out and voiced their displeasure with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback. Fools, every single one of you. Clowns, fools. Number one quarterback, top tier quarterback, top 5 quarterback in football. And let me explain to you why. What is the ultimate measure of a quarterback, Mark?
I would say that nifty little ring at the end of the season.
All right, now that is not. All right, brother. What's the real answer? And you know the real answer. That's right, Mark. It's pass completion rate, because it means that you are properly executing the plan that the coach has set forth for the game. Jalen Hurts is currently sitting on the whole season at a 69.2% completion rate. That's pretty fucking good. That's actually better than his completion rate when they went to the Super Bowl in 2022. It's better. And that's wild, because in 2022, dude, he was the talk of the town. He was an MVP. That was an MVP caliber season. So he's having an MVP caliber season, right? So another thing that we have to talk about when it comes to Jalen Hurts is that he has bounced back as far as being a dual threat is concerned. Last year, a lot of people were worried because he had injured his knee at some point in the season that he had lost his step. He's not as fast as he used to be. You're wrong. Ha ha. Losers. I'm right again. He now has the most rushing touchdowns of any quarterback in football, I think, except for Lamar Jackson, right? Something along those lines. Superstar. So I just want to go ahead and lay this out right now. 70% completion rate, practically. Top tier as far as rushing touchdowns are concerned. He's thrown quite a few passing touchdowns as well. He's not nearly as many as I'd like to see, but he is 12-5 for touchdowns to interceptions right now for just his passing touchdowns. And he's on 2,197 yards on the season so far. So he's performing, and he's performing very well. I mean, dude, like, I don't know what it is when it comes to my fellow Eagles fans, But you know, guys, your quarterback getting sacked sometimes is a part of football. I'm just throwing it out there. He's gonna get sacked sometimes, especially when you're one of these dual threat quarterbacks who like to use their legs a lot. You're gonna get hit by the other players. That's the nature of playing the position. That's how it is. So if you want him to be a dynamic dual threat, which opens up both his passing game and his running game, you have to accept the fact that he's going to take a few sacks. It's going to happen. But do you know what the most important thing that he's done this season is? He's kept it to only 5 interceptions on the entire season so far, going into week 12. That is less than an interception a week. He is on point. He is accurate. He is accomplishing the scheme that is set forth by his coaches. He is taking their training program. He is keeping himself mostly healthy. And also, he isn't turning the ball over a whole lot. What more could you possibly ask from your quarterback? What does the guy have to literally get 500 passing yards every single game, 6 passing touchdowns and 4 rushing touchdowns, and be the single greatest quarterback of all time every single week in order for people to finally admit that he's an elite quarterback? Is that what we have to see?
Yes.
Like, it's just fucking ridiculous. The amount of expectation that people have placed on Jalen Hurts is completely fucking unreasonable.
I think that just comes with being of Philly quarterback.
No, it doesn't. This didn't happen when Carson Wentz was the quarterback. This didn't happen when Nick Foles was the quarterback. This didn't happen when Donovan McNabb was the quarterback. This just did not happen. At least not like this. Like, the thing is, if a player performs badly, yeah, we dog them like this. But it's never been the case that they are performing like a top 5 quarterback and still getting dogged for it. It's ridiculous. And I rest my case. Give me one reason why Jalen Hurts is not an elite top 5 quarterback this season.
Oh, there isn't. The only reason I can see people like dogging on him is because you have the much flashier offenses. I think that if, let's say, Detroit wasn't pulling off these games where they're winning by throwing 5 interceptions, winning 52 points, Lamar Jackson, King Henry tying off the ball, running 99 yards across the field, Mahomes slipping, dipping, and diving no matter what, that he can't get set. Like, if you didn't have these other guys like pulling miracles, everybody would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people are just looking at what's going on in the rest of the league, and they're like and they're like, this is it.
Let me
Which,
tell you
to
what
be
I
fair,
think is happening
which
here.
to be completely
Or
fair,
you go
is
first.
bullshit. It's bullshit. The man is being consistent.
He's Mr.
Winning.
Consistency.
The man is winning games.
No, you can't. That's not good enough. It's not good enough. Marcus, I am guaranteeing you, if he gets to the Super Bowl and we win, he has a ring on his finger, and he comes out and gets sacked on the first play next season, bum. Everyone's going to be calling him a bum. Nobody's going to have any respect for him. Oh, last year was all Saquon. That's what they're going to say. I guarantee it. They're going to be coming out and they're going to say, well, if he didn't have so many weapons, he wouldn't have won it at all. No fucking kidding. You could say that about every quarterback except Joe Montana and Tom Brady. And even they had weapons most seasons. Shut up, you idiot, you moron, you stupid fuck.
Speaking quickly on the whole ring, I've already told my bosses that if we get into the Super Bowl, I'm leaving that week to go back to come back up. Ain't
You're
no
gonna take a
way.
month off. But you gotta come for the parade. It'll be your first one.
It's like, but I thought the Super Bowl was only at one night. No,
You
no.
don't understand, young man. You know not the way. But no, it kind of pisses me off because it's like, well, here, let me tell you what I think it is. I think that a lot of these fans are watching the Eagles games, and then at halftime rolls around, and they must just turn their televisions off and go outside and touch some grass because that is the only possible way I could ever reasonably say that Jalen Hurts isn't a top 5 quarterback. Because I will admit, he has to heat up. That boy needs a jump starter. I don't know what they inject him with at halftime to boost him up, but they need to give it to me. Take that shit every morning.
I mean, to be honest, I don't fucking mind it if it takes half the game. Like,
Well, let me be real.
winnings.
I do mind it. I would like to see them get hot in the first half of some of these games.
I would like it too, obviously.
Because that's what
but
we're going to need when we rematch the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, which is going to happen at the end of the year. So, well, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I think that the Lions, they have a long list of injuries that are a big problem, man. Like, seriously, Aiden Hutchinson being out indefinitely forever for years. He it's a big blow to the Detroit Lions defense. I think it's a big deal. And dude, I don't know if you heard this, but Bryce Huff, he's injured. He's probably not going to play. He's getting wrist surgery.
Yeah, I saw.
Thank God. Thank God he's not playing. It'll only make the team better. No, I'm just playing. I actually think that he's been doing better than most people give him credit for, but I think that he's doing the things that don't necessarily show up on a stat sheet. Like he's pushing a few dudes around and helping to distract more than he is getting to the quarterback and stuff like that, but I think that that's the game plan that's been drawn up for him. So, and they have obviously limited his snaps, but I really didn't expect that much from him going in. So I'm kind of getting pleasantly surprised with the meager amount of production that he's given us so far. So honestly, I'm not too upset about Bryce Huff. So I have to throw it out there because I do see it. The Eagles have a really weak schedule this season.
Yeah.
Like, we thought that they had a really tough schedule going into the year. Like, they have to play the Packers and the Buccaneers, and we thought that the Browns would be better than they are. The Bengals ended up being totally stinky. The Giants suck. The Jaguars are like the worst Jaguars team I think we've ever seen since they were founded. And the Cowboys are fucking terrible, and we get to play them twice. So it's just like we don't have a lot of good teams we're playing against.
We only have two. Well, we have 3 good teams to play against for the rest of the season.
Yeah. No, we have to play the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Commanders. But I will tell you that Panthers game is starting to really look like a trap game, Marky.
I'm sure.
I think the Panthers are about to become the graveyard of empires here.
You know,
what if they just go on a tear?
You say that, you know who they have this week?
It's the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying that. They're gonna, dude.
So I was gonna say later when we went to the game of the week, I was gonna say Chiefs Panthers, baby.
Bryce, pull it home. Dude, I'm just saying, if Bryce Young comes out guns a-blazing against the Kansas City Chiefs and they win the game, I'm taking all of the credit for putting him back in. That probably won't happen, however.
Yeah.
But if you look at the Panthers' remaining schedule, they got the Chiefs, then the Bucks, then the Eagles, and then the Cowboys, then the Cardinals, and then the Bucks again. So
Yeah,
they might legitimately be the graveyard of seasons here in a little bit. It's kind of cool. Stinky ass fucking team. How many games did they got? 6 games left. So the Panthers are what? They're a 2-win team right now?
I believe so.
3 wins.
Oh yeah, that's right. They beat the
Dude,
Giants.
if they win out and the Falcons start losing, they could win the division still. Wouldn't that be something? If the Panthers break in 9-7,
Oh my
they
God.
just find a way. I'm
Bro,
kind of rooting for it.
bro, if they manage to steal the division, if
I'm rooting for it. It's gonna be. I mean, dude, the Buccaneers are on a 4-loss streak. And if they could beat the Buccaneers twice, that takes away 2 of the potential wins for the Buccaneers. I'm just saying, it's possible. Crazier things have happened. But that'd be kind of wild, and I'm super interested in that. And, dude, all right, moving on to bigger and better things. Can the Lions please lose 1 game?
no,
Just 1?
no,
Like,
bro,
I actually, so let me
they
go
already
ahead
lost.
and throw this out here.
They already lost their one game.
Yeah, true, honestly. Who did they lost to the Buccaneers. Yeah, they lost to the Buccaneers. I'm gonna just come out and say this boldly here. I think that the Lions are gonna lose on Thanksgiving Day to the Bears.
You think so?
Well, they're on the short week. They don't. They're playing the Colts and then right into the Bears. The Bears feel like they got something to prove, I think, and they are technically still in
A
it.
team. They are still technically a team.
Yeah, they are one of the teams of all time. But I think that that's a trap game for the Lions, and they're gonna fall for the trap. And then the Eagles are gonna be like, whoosh, and swoop off with it. Well, I mean, honestly, the Eagles are going to control what happens with the conference. As long as the Eagles don't have a stupid loss here in the next few weeks, and we beat the Lions, um, we will win the conference.
Well, it's definitely a two-horse race right now.
Dude, is there even another team in the in the NFC that's close?
Mm,
The
The
Vikings.
the Vikings,
I
and
don't
then I
consider the
guess,
Commanders close anymore.
and then you could say Green Bay, but that they've had their bye.
It's too late for Green Bay.
But
I guess
aside,
they could lose out and go 7-9, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
so aside from that, no, not really.
Well, actually, the Packers have a relatively tough schedule for the rest of the year here. They got the 49ers into the Dolphins on Thursday. So they go from the 49ers defense into the Dolphins offense in only 4 days. And then right after that, they play the Lions in Detroit. Then the Seahawks, then the Saints is kind of a gimme for them. And then they play a hard game against the Vikings in Minnesota. And then they have to finish out at home against the Bears. It's a pretty tough schedule going forward for the Packers. And then over in the AFC, it's just kind of fucking obvious what's going down over there.
Yeah. Bills, Chief,
Oh,
Conference.
no. Steelers.
I
The
know.
killer bees are back, big dog.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be Wouldn't it be great if both Pennsylvania teams made it?
Just enforce our dominance. First, we decided your election. Now we decide your Super Bowl. Oh
I mean,
God.
we have the exact same record with the Steelers, except for the fact that they only have one division win. They've only
I
played.
have to say though, I think if the Steelers were to play the Eagles in the Super Bowl, assuming that we're both healthy, I don't think that the Steelers even stand a chance.
It's a stout defense right there.
Yeah, so is ours.
True.
Pleasantly surprised, to be honest. I wonder, how do they rank the defenses? Marky, quick, come up with something while I look this up.
Um. So
Oh, Jalen Hurts' ankle. What do you think about that?
I hope he takes it easy during these practices and gets it right.
I actually think that he's totally fine, and they're just reporting the minimum that they have to. In the press conference today, so if you remember a few weeks ago, actually, when they were either going into or leaving the Bengals game, he also reported an ankle injury at that time as well. What he said in the press conference today is that they were just limiting his practice because they came up with a special short program for him since they had the few extra days after a Thursday night game to rehab his ankle so that it would be in fighting shape. He's going to play this Sunday. So I think he's fine. But yeah, I knew it. I had a feeling about this one. Sorry. The number one ranked defense is the Eagles.
Really?
Yeah, they let up the least yards of any team in football. So, and we've only let up 18 touchdowns on the entire season. So, I mean, there's only one team that has given up less touchdowns than the two teams that have given up less touchdowns than the Eagles, and that's the Steelers and the Lions. And I think that that's only because in the first 4 weeks before the bye, the Eagles' defense fucking sucked. Oh, and the Chargers have let up 15. So there's three teams that have given up less touchdowns than the Philadelphia Eagles, and one team that ties with us, which is the Broncos. And then what about offense? Let's see offense. The Eagles are the 5th ranked offense by yards per game. So, I mean, what'd you say?
Seems right.
Yeah, the Ravens are number 1. But I have to admit, dude, the Ravens have been leaking oil the past, 3 or 4 weeks. Like, god damn.
I was gonna bring that up actually. Well, they haven't been looking too hot.
No, sir. Let's see. I want to see points per game.
They lose that.
The Eagles are 7th for points per game.
They lose that game against the Browns. And now they've lost against the Steelers. The Bengals are a trash team.
Well, the Bengals are. The problem with the Bengals is that their defense is horrible.
I hadn't realized that the Ravens had already played the Bengals twice now.
Yeah, and they beat them by like a point both times in a shootout.
Yeah.
That's really what happens.
They really are the most cursed team, aren't they?
Yeah, the thing is, the Bengals, their offense is fucking cracked. Like, they're good. It's just the defense is terrible. They can't stop a team to save their fucking babies. Not even to save themselves. They can't even save their babies. Like, it's pretty miserable. Um, but I will tell you, the Steelers are like healthily at the midpoint here for offenses. They are slightly better than the Dallas Cowboys on offense. So they're like, I'm not counting all the places here, but they're like 15th or 16th in football on offense. So,
Mhm.
quite frankly, I'm sorry, but the Eagles are the number one defense and the number five offense in yards per game. Um, and the Steelers are like the number three defense and the 16th offense. So I just don't see it as a real competition, if I'm being honest. I'm just not scared. Like, might the Steelers beat the Eagles? Totally on the table. Totally 100% on the table. But I just feel like it's pretty unlikely at this point, to be honest. To be honest. So, Caleb Williams is trash. Just throwing that out there really quick. Now we can move on. Um, it's time for the Cowboys to throw in the towel. What are you guys still trying for? Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Sit the starters for the rest of the season. It's not worth it.
Stop. He's
He's already
already
dead.
dead.
Well, now it's like, dude, Micah Parsons is coming off a major injury. Don't let him get injured. He's the only player. Like, for real. Dude, if they let Micah Parsons get injured, they're clowns. Cause like, dude, the thing with injuries is even if he comes back, the injuries pile up over the years. You know, like you want a player like Micah Parsons, you want to get as much mileage out of him as possible. You need him longevity. Like you gotta have him for a long time because he's such a huge investment for you. So don't let him keep getting injured. Sit him. All right. Anyway, but sit the starters. Okay, we're back. Sit the starters. Cowboys need to sit the starters. There is literally no reason to continue their season at this point. The Eagles aren't going to collapse. The Commanders aren't going to collapse. You're done. Hang up the hat, get a high draft pick, hope for the best next season. Next season will be a rebuild year. Don't even try it, delusional fans. You're done. Bye bye. See you in 3 years, maybe. I don't really see a reason to talk about the Cowboys anymore for the next 3 years. Um,
Oh, but we will.
oh, of course, just to call him dog shit. Um,
Trash.
so who's your fraud watch, Marky?
I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to call them frauds. Actually, I think I'm gonna have to call them frauds.
Who?
The Falcons.
Oh, thank God you didn't steal mine.
The Falcons. What are you doing?
They're throwing their lead in their division. That's what they're doing.
Honestly, like, do you guys not want a chance at the ring? Because if you
Of
don't,
course they don't.
you go ahead, keep losing. You beat a bum ass Cowboys. You beat the bum ass Panthers. And you have some wins over good teams. Us, unfortunately. And
Yeah,
at
but that
least
was
we
before the Eagles got good.
yeah, no, true. And like we thought the Bucks would be good, but you went ahead and beat their ass twice. But you just lost to the Saints, and this past week you lost 38-6 against the Broncos, starting Bo Nix, and no hate on the guy. I think he's doing wonders for Denver. But 38-6? Kirk? What happened this game?
Kirko Chains didn't pull it off, you're saying?
He had 173 yards. 173
Jeepers.
yards. Uh 27 attempts, 18 completed.
That's
66%,
terrible.
66% completion rate.
That's not too bad. It's certainly less than I expect from a traditional style, like, pocket passer, though.
Like, Denver came in and they slapped their cock on your face, man.
That's how it is, brother.
Yeah, I have to upgrade you to frauds. You're gonna piss your lead away in the division.
Well, they were frauds at the beginning of the season anyway. Let's be real here. I mean, who the fuck pulls in a veteran franchise quarterback on a huge contract and drafts a top 10 quarterback in the same season? That was some brain dead plays. Like, put Michael Penix out there. I want to see Michael Penix play. No one wants to see Kirko Chains go out there and lose a game.
Yeah.
Fucking, you know what should have happened? Kirk Cousins should have gone to the Indianapolis Colts and started over Anthony Richardson. Joe Flacco retires finally, and Anthony Richardson gets to sit behind Kirk Cousins and learn how to play football. He'd be a great mentor for the young men. But no, we can't have nice things. Same thing could have happened in Denver, actually. Kirk Cousins would have been great mentor for Bo Nix.
Oh God.
They have pretty similar play styles, to be honest.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying like that
It would have been good.
would have been sweet.
Yeah. Um. By the
So,
way, my fraud
mhm.
this week. I have to say, it's got to be the San Francisco 49ers. It has to be.
Yeah,
It
I was
has to
thinking
be.
about him.
You fell from being a Super Bowl contender to 5-5 in only one season. And
Yeah.
it's not like they lost a whole shitload of players or anything. And even in this past week, I'm sorry, guys, you had CMC back. You had Brock Purdy. You had Debo. You had Juwan Jennings. Like, sure, they were missing George Kittle. And they were missing one other player as well. One other notable player. I can't think of their name right off the top of my head. But it's just like you guys had most of your offensive. Brandon Ayuk. It's Ayuk and Kittle are injured. And I'm just sitting here saying to myself, and I want to specifically point out that fucking Debo Samuel is a poison for the 49ers offense. My man got 22 receiving yards in that game. From what I've heard, they're actually considering demoting him to wide receiver 2 and putting Juwan Jennings in wide receiver 1. Because, I mean, dude, on the season, Debo is just underperforming. He only has 490 yards on the year.
Yeah, that's not pretty. That's not good.
That's trash for him. That's trash for him. I mean, he's let's be real here. He's pretty fucking good. So it's just like for example, AJ Brown is at 618. Okay, and he's having like a mega down year. And he's got 200 yards on this motherfucker. And he was out for 4 games.
Yeah, even Tyreek's doing better.
Yeah, dude, talk about falling off, man. What the fuck happened to Tyreek Hill? He has been nowhere this season to be found. I mean, I haven't seen him. Have you?
Well, I have been watching trash teams.
You know what I'm saying to you, though. He's just been like a non-factor in practically every single game, right? Is he injured or something? Like, what is going on? Yeah, let's see.
I don't know to tell you the truth.
Let me see. I want to see what his stats on this season are.
He has 3 touchdowns on the season.
He's got 523 yards on the season. That's for him again. For him, in context of Tyreek Hill, that's not really that good. To be fair to him, though, Tua was out for a vast majority of the season. So, to be fair to him, he may as well have not played for 6 games. So, I mean, it's justifiable. But Debo doesn't have that excuse. No. Brock Purdy is Mr. Consistent Game Manager. He's one of the most consistent quarterbacks in football, and you're still not getting the ball. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're not targeting Debo on purpose. I don't know if he pissed someone off, which is, with him, very likely. But he's really underperformed compared to what he normally snatches up. So that's why the 49ers, and more specifically Deebo Samuel, are my frauds of the week. And also, after a plummeting failure like this, obviously they're not going to do this right away. But if they come out next season and start 5-5 again, do you think Shanahan's job is on the line?
Maybe. I suppose it would depend on how bad those losses are.
I'm going to be honest with you. If I was the owner of the San Francisco 49ers, I'd be really considering shaking things up right now at the end of this season because, quite frankly, Kyle Shanahan has been the consistent thing about the team, and they've gone to, what, 3 Super Bowls in the past 5 years? Or 7 years? 10 years? 10 years, I think they've been to 3 Super Bowls, right? And they've lost all of them. So I really just don't know what to even say about that. He's the only consistent thread, really. So maybe it's time to shake it up a little bit and dump Shanny Wanny. Get him out of here. Oh, I've been so excited to talk about this. The Jets, once again, are a complete dumpster fire. They have now, at the behest, again, of course, of Aaron the Rodgers, have dumped their GM now. Joe Douglas, one of the most respected names in the business, is now out of the New York Jets. So they've dumped a coach now. They've dumped a GM now, despite him getting everybody that Aaron Rodgers asked him to get. And now Aaron Rodgers has single-handedly, and the owner, I guess, because he let this happen, set back the Jets franchise 10 years minimum. It's going to take the Jets 10 years before they're as good as they were before Aaron Rodgers was there. So, I don't know what the hell to really make of that one. What do you think, Marky?
Dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. Absolutely correct. 105% dumpster. So, the next thing that I wanted to talk about is what's your game of the week next week, Marky? Oh, and we're recording on Wednesday, so we can actually talk about the Thursday game. Pog. So what's your game of the week, big dog?
Oh,
it's got to be Broncos Raiders.
It's a kind of stinky week again.
A little bit stinky. But there is one diamond in the rough here, and I'll let you go first to see if you can find it.
Arizona, Seattle.
Yeah, that's the diamond in the rough. It's obvious that Arizona, Seattle is the best game of the week. If the Rams somehow beat the Eagles this upcoming week, I'm going to be really pressing the panic button and wondering what the fuck happened. But I will say there is one other game this week that I could say I would choose, and that's the Ravens-Chargers. The Chargers are the worst team with 7 wins that I have ever seen in my entire life. Um, at this point in the season, I mean, not overall 7 wins, but they are the worst 7-3 team I have ever seen in my entire life. And the Ravens are leaking oil like crazy going into this game. So it's going to be a big AFC matchup. And honestly, it's kind of going to change the shape of the AFC for playoffs. It has playoff implications. Like, dude, as much as it's crazy to say, the Chargers could still win the division.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if the Chargers pick up a big win here against the Ravens and the Chiefs lose to the Panthers, all of a sudden it's looking a little sketchy for the Chiefs. They're going to be one game up on the Chargers. So I'm just saying it's a slippery slope here for Kansas City, and I would be happy to see Kansas City lose the division for once.
Oh, Tom, I
What?
completely forgot. There's a secondary game of the week.
Oh, what? What?
Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. on CBS. The Pizza Paisano is back, baby.
Oh yeah, true pizza. I love
Bro.
that guy. He's better than Danny Penny's. He's just better.
Oh, he absolutely
Tommy
is.
DeVito is the Giants quarterback. Forget about it.
No, absolutely. And
He's
you know,
Italian.
he's Italian. He's New York's quarterback, and he's here to save the season
Did I mention he's Italian?
with the Gabagoo.
Tommy Cutlets is going to bring it home against the Buccaneers. The Giants are about to have a renaissance going into the end of the season. They're going to win 6 games straight. I'm telling you, they're going to beat the Eagles in the last game of the season. The Pizza Paisano is going to come out here and go berserk. In all seriousness, they're going to end the season out 0-6. So, but it'll be funny while they do it. So, it's cool. It's okay. The memes are phenomenal. And now, Marky, we could not possibly talk about this week in football without mentioning one extremely specific game. The Bills have finally beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. They did it. Hey, guys, I didn't think you had it in you. I did not think that Sean McDermott was ever going to beat Andy Reid in a game. I never thought it would happen. I never thought Josh Allen would ever beat Patrick Mahomes. Congratulations. 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 So, yeah, that hats off to you. Too bad you'll lose to them in the playoffs. And that's kind of the wrap on that one. If the Chiefs make it to the playoffs, just saying, a little bit of intrigue there.
The GM is like, I knew trading away our first round pick to the Chiefs for them
No,
to
that's
pick up
still
Xavier
dumb.
Worthy.
I actually heard some people trying to say that on Twitter. I'm sorry, you're still clowns. Like, that is an indefensible decision at that point. But yeah, so Marky, we're in the final stretch here. We're coming up against it. It is now time for my personal favorite segment. Marky, you got to kiss the baby on a team.
Okay. So, what do I have?
You've already kissed the baby on Panthers, Cleveland, Patriots, Jets, Jags, Cowboys, Saints, Titans, Raiders, and Bengals.
Do I have the Saints on there?
Yes.
Yes. You know, do I have the Browns?
Yes.
Okay.
You have all the
Unfortunate.
bottom feeder teams.
Yeah. Unfortunate. I guess we're gonna have to do it to them. The let's go ahead and kiss the baby on the Chicago Bears.
Ah, it's about time you finally joined me. So, this one's a tough week for me, man. I was really anticipating being able to eliminate an AFC West team after this game or after this week, but unfortunately, them stinky ass fucking Broncos and them stinky ass fucking Chargers are still somehow in it. It's boggling my mind. So I can't really get one of them out of here. The AFC North, I already got the Bengals and the Browns out of here. I already got the Titans and the Jags out of here. I already got the Colts out of there too, actually. So I mean, let's head over to the NFC. Here I have the Giants and the Cowboys. No, I don't. I'm kissing the baby on the Giants. I actually voted out the Cowboys before I voted out the Giants. I did the Cowboys like 5 weeks ago. I voted them out. Dude, the writing was on the wall. I knew they were going to be fucking dog shit this season. So, and I legitimately do not say that every year. So, I thought they would be better than this. I had them pegged as an 8-win team. So, I didn't expect a complete collapse. But we got a complete collapse. Fucking idiots.
All in.
Yeah. All in. And don't worry. The Mingo is going to save you. You know, something that we didn't talk about over the past couple weeks that I did want to bring up. I just forgot. The Eagles didn't make any trades. That's some confidence that I'm seeing there. That's a little crazy. You know, I was actually, and here we'll finish on this last thing. I was actually thinking, okay, trade deadline to pick up extra players. All right, I get it. But if at any point in the season, let's say like a starter, okay, like a number one on a team gets majorly injured, like they're going to be out for the season, I think that they should allow you to trade if your starter is injured for more than 6 weeks and it's past the trade deadline, right? Like that seems like a reasonable rule to add.
Well, no, because then Jerry Jones could trade for a new QB.
Go ahead. Reasonable rule. No. They're not going to win anyway, so it doesn't matter. There's nothing that the Cowboys could do to win this season back. But my whole thing is, it's just like, and it would be beneficial for the NFL too. Like the league would benefit from that because if, let's say for example, if Jalen Hurts gets injured, nobody from outside of Philadelphia is going to watch the fucking Eagles games anymore. They're going to be cooked. So why would it's beneficial for everybody. We get better teams to watch because starters aren't injured. And the NFL gets better viewership. Done deal.
Nope. That's not how this works.
Yeah, true. I'm sorry. I forgot. It's too good of an idea.
Stupid.
I mean, just look at their kickoff rules that they implemented this season, and you know that they're not fond of good ideas. But yeah, so that's all we got for you for this week. I hope you enjoyed your time with us. And remember, you can catch us on every single platform where you get your podcasts, so long as you're getting your podcasts from Spotify and YouTube. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, share us with all of your friends. And I do mean all of them. I promise you, it'll be cool and not cringe. Have a nice night, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.